Yes, guys, welcome back to Stretford Paddock. Good morning. Hope you're all doing all right after United's big win over the mighty Tranmere yesterday. Unfortunately, again, not much more good news to bring you. Kicking it off with Bruno Fernandes update has been going on for weeks and weeks and weeks now. Surprisingly, there's not much credible transfer news on this at the minute. However, Sky did provide an update yesterday evening on the Fernandes deal. United is still short of Sporting's valuation, but talks are still ongoing. Reports suggest that United have increased their bid to 46 million from the original 42 million pound bid. And again, it just shows we're still trying to take shortcuts in the transfer market, and it comes down to penny pinching. Once again, you think with all the heat Woodward's been getting recently, he'd do himself a favour and just bite the bullet and accept he's going to have to probably overpay a bit more than he wants to. But what more have we come to expect from us in the transfer market recently? However, to contradict that report, there's been a supposedly reliable source in Portugal, RTP, suggesting that United have raised their offer for Bruno Fernandes to €55 million plus 15 million in add-ons. If that's true, that definitely does seem closer to what Sporting would be willing to accept for Fernandes. And with 4 days of the window left, I think it's going to come down to who budges first. Really, I mean, if the Sky deals, if the Sky reports believed to be true, it's like we're almost testing Sporting and saying, listen, you need the money. You're gonna have to take what we're offering you, otherwise we're gonna walk away. And Sporting have consistently said throughout that they want a certain amount. And again, I think it's just going to be who bites the bullet first, whether it's Sporting are going to take a loss on what they want for him and just take the money they can get, or whether United are going to end up missing out on the deal due to not paying up the full amount of what Sporting want. Following on from that, David Ornstein has reported this morning as well that there's a realistic possibility that United don't sign anyone before the January deadline and that no signings are imminent. We know David Ornstein is usually very, very reliable, so when he makes a bold claim like that, you definitely have to listen. As disappointing as this is, are any of us really that surprised? Consistently, it's just been, United are looking at the possibility of signing, United are scouting, and it's United are exploring the possibility of signing such and such a person. For me, you do all this before the window starts, before the window opens, and it's genuinely like outside of the transfer window, we don't do any scouting, we don't look at signing anyone or even considering it. The board thinks we're all right, and then shit hits the fan midway through the season. They think, oh shit, yeah, we actually do need to sign someone. And it's almost like they read the players that we're getting linked to and think, oh yeah, let's go have a look at him. And how naive we are in the transfer market, it genuinely wouldn't surprise me if that was the way it goes. And like I say, if we don't manage to get anyone in this window, with the injury to Rashford, that was something that you can't foresee, obviously. But again, the striker situation was something that should have been dealt in the summer. Obviously, we were linked to the likes of Man Utd and then the Haaland in January as well. Again, not getting that one through the door. And now, obviously, recently with the Bruno Fernandes one as well, we had a loan offer for was it Inter Milan's Vecino turned down the other day. I don't know why we're going for players on loan. We need midfielders. He's playing for Inter Milan. He's not going to be dog shit, is he? Just go and get him. So it is just a bit depressing. You almost want the window just to shut now so we can just get on with it and just crack on with the season, which we know is not going to be too amazing now, especially with the injury to Rashford. I know he says he's looking to be back before the end of the season, but I can't really see it because he's going to need to recover as well. And if we do get anyone else injured, we had to play Martial yesterday. I would imagine if we'd have brought in another striker, Martial wouldn't have played that game. And it was lucky yesterday that we didn't really get anyone else injured. Obviously, when the game was done within the first half, really. And, you saw Ollie make substitutions for Martial and Maguire coming off. So obviously they're going to feature on Wednesday. And I think I said it on my last news video as well. There's not too much blame that can be pointed at Ollie in terms of the squad that he's been given. And we are going to need to give it time. But obviously we've seen the anti-Glazer and anti-Woodward's chants continue yesterday. Even flares going off in and away end at Tranmere, and it definitely has more effect when we're winning. And obviously with the supposed walkout as well due at Wolves in the game on Sunday, I think again that's going to have more effect if say if we're 2-0 up and we walk out in the 58th minute. I think that's definitely going to take more note if we're 2-0 down and people just walking out. So we are going to have to wait and see. Make sure you get your comments in on everything that we've spoken about so far. I'm going to come to them in a sec. Make sure you like the video as well. Let's have a look. Can't believe we've been linked to Tevez. Did I not remember the RIP Ferguson? Yeah, that was a weird one. I can't quite remember who actually broke that. Well, I say story. Came up with that one first, but it's as if they're just literally running out of players and just decided to link Carlos Tevez back to the club. Let's have a look. A few more. For God's sake. Van Persie is 36 and no club. I'm surprised United hasn't been linked with the comeback like Paul Scholes did. Yeah, like I say, if we're getting linked to Carlos Tevez, I'm like you say, I'm pretty shocked that we've not been linked to Van Persie as well. I've been linked to all our ex-players, really. Rooney as well has been linked. Joshua Edwards, we're signing nobody. I tend to agree, mate. Ethan D saying, I think we're skint. How can we be skint? Genuinely, how can we be skint? The amount of money that this club makes, well, then again, it was all taken out by the Glazers, but you think we should, like the Bruno Fernandes deal, it's supposedly coming down to 10 million. You're not telling me this football club hasn't got 10 million that they can spare. Come on. We need all those fans, especially those attending the game, to have a common agreement on how to pass the message. The board must feel the pressure too. I don't think we've ever really been this consistent against Woodward in terms of the games. Obviously, people have their opinions outside the ground and on Twitter and stuff, but in the ground, it's never really creeped in that much. And like I say, for an away game at Tranmere in the FA Cup, where the game was done within 45 minutes, and to see that that message carry on into that game as well, I think they are going to start to feel the pressure. And obviously, I think Simon Stone said as much as Woodward does want to do a good job, there is a suggestion that all the criticism might get too much for him, and he does end up stepping down. So we can only have our fingers crossed on that one. I believe Ollie has a vision, but none of the higher ups look like they support it. It's weird because they keep coming out backing him, and obviously the result against Burnley, the board reiterated that they're behind Ollie, they're behind his plan. But then again, like we saw it with Mourinho, giving him a new contract in January. Again, not signing anyone that January window, and then not backing him in the summer. It's just too many mixed signals from the club. We don't know where the direction of the club's going, but we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Shame about Chong leaving. I believe he should stay and develop or go out on loan. I think Chong, when he featured early on in the season, he did look really lightweight, and I think he was starting games and he wasn't really getting into him. But I think recently, I know we're against Tranmere and that yesterday, but he does look a bit more lively. And he contract expires in the summer. He's obviously been linked to a move to Inter Milan, as the majority of our team has been over the last 12 months. So I do think he's definitely worth sticking with. What is he 19, 20? So he's definitely worth trying to keep, and like I say, send him out on loan. Let's have a look. A couple more. Woodward doesn't need to leave the club, just step aside from anything related to football. Yeah, to be fair, 12 months ago I'd have probably agreed with you on that point. I think in terms of commercially and bringing money into the club, he's great. But we all know football, he knows nothing about it. And I would have been happy 12, 18 months ago for him to just step aside and let someone else take over that role, but I'm sick of seeing his face now in and around the club, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are the same on that one. Is Angel Gomez staying? From what supposedly you heard, his contract does expire in the summer. He's obviously been linked with that move to Barcelona. Still not signed that contract, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens on that front. We are very, very poorly run. We should have scouted and identified prior to the window. Again, couldn't agree more, mate. That's what I said before. Come January 1st, we should have already bid and closed down the deal. Yeah, like I say, if you're scouting players and you're putting the feelers out to the clubs and saying, we're thinking about coming in for him, and then like the first 5-10 days of the window, done, sorted. Now you can crack on with what else you need to get doing. Let's have a look. You need to get in Simone and Allegri to do tag team management, and they won't get a backing from Woodward. The Simone and Allegri links are ridiculous. Don't read anything into them. Even if Woodward was sacked or stepped down, who's to say the Glazers would appoint a decent appointment? That's very true. That is very true. And I think definitely while the Glazers are still around, I don't think Woodward's going to be in any rush to leave the club either. Obviously, Woodward worked quite closely with the Glazers when they bought the club. So, again, I think those two go hand in hand, really. Wait, try and get a couple more. Can't we sign Mitrovic from Fulham? Why? He's been in the Premier League before. He's not been that great, has he? He looks all right he looks all right in the Championship. He's had a decent stint with Newcastle, but he wasn't that good. I think there's definitely better we can do in there. United are done as a club, living off past glories, history, and the name that Ferguson built. We're not done. We will. It's just at the end of the day, people get too stressed about it. It's just a cycle. Football goes in cycles. Liverpool are having their cycle now. I mean, it's taken them 30 years, and we'll be all right. We'll get there in the end. But it's just a bit shit watching Liverpool dominate like they're doing. Obviously, City being in and around there as well. Right, I think we're going to wrap it up there. Cheers for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you in the next one. Oh, and make sure you tune in to Howson's Brew later on as well. See you in that one in a bit.